The IRS is offering taxpayers here in Florida a chance to file their taxes directly with the IRS for free. It's called IRS Direct File, and it's part of a pilot program being offered to people in 12 states. Florida is one of them. Not everyone, though, is eligible. Alejandra Castro is with the IRS and is joining us live via Zoom this morning to explain who can use this free service and what they need to have with them to do it. So good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to be with you today.
So a person's eligibility, as we know, depends on a few things. So first, it's limited to people who are reporting only certain types of income. Would you explain?
Yes, correct. So because this is a pilot program, we made it very simple. And at this moment, the service is only accepting W-2s if you claim certain credits like the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit. If you work in the gig economy and you get 1099s, then unfortunately at this time, it is not equipped to handle those type of tax returns. This is for simple tax returns. People that itemize cannot use direct file. We want to encourage taxpayers who live in Florida who have not yet filed their taxes. The April 15th deadline is coming up pretty quickly. We want them to try it out. Go to directfile.irs.gov and you can check if you're eligible to use it. So like you said, W-2 wage income, Social Security, and railroad reporting income, unemployment compensation, and interest of $1,500 or less. Those are the income reporting that this software is equipped to handle at this point. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to also clarify too, because and there are certain types of credits too that are
Correct.
limited to those who can file this way.
Yes, there are. So if you do the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, the credit for other dependents, those credits do qualify. The other credits don't. There are many other credits, but these are the credits that at this time the software is open to. Now, we need people to try it out because the more people that try it out and qualify, and we estimate that in Florida, about more than 2 million taxpayers qualify to use this. So we want to encourage them to try it out because the more people that try it, the more results we'll be able to see and we'll be able to determine the future of direct file.
Right, and whether or not it can be offered to more Floridians, which could be helpful for everyone, since sometimes it can be really expensive and really stressful doing taxes on your own or having to pay someone to do them for you. Really quick, there's also a limitation in terms of deductions.
Yes, also, yes, there are. But again, the standard deduction, the student loan interest, and the educator expenses, those you can deduct those, and you can use direct file if you use those. Like again, like if you itemize and you have other more complicated deductions, then you cannot use it. Maybe this will change in the future. Right now, we just want to encourage taxpayers to go ahead and try it out and let us know. We've gotten feedback from taxpayers that have already used it in the early testing phase, and they said it was very easy to use, 30 minutes or less. And it guides you through the process. And if you get stuck anywhere along the way, there's a feature for you to chat with someone. And that's very beneficial.
Yeah, and that can to help you kind of walk you through the process since it can be a little confusing. So can this direct file be accessed? Is it you have to just use a computer, a laptop, or can you also use your cell phone?
You can also use your cell phone. That is the wonderful thing about direct file. So your computer, your laptop, a desktop, or your cell phone as well.
And so while you're going through this process, also, if for some reason you realize kind of halfway through that you're not eligible, will it end up telling you that so that you can realize, okay, I'm going to do this some other way?
Before you start, there's a thing you click on that says check my eligibility, and that will tell you if you're eligible or not.
And do you think
if you're not, there are other options.
Perfect. And do you think you'll get that people who use this will actually get their refund if they're eligible for one back earlier and sooner?
It's right now, it stands the same. If there are no errors on your tax return, and obviously you're direct filing and you're asking to have your refund direct deposited to your bank account, the standard time right now is 21 days or less.
So thank you. And that's great information, too. I'm going to tell our viewers about the event that's happening tomorrow. But before I do that, are there, 2 or 3 really common questions that the IRS typically gets, this time of year as people are preparing to file that will help our viewers at home?
Well, they ask, what happens if I can't file by the April 15th deadline? And I always tell them, you can always get an extension to file. up until October 15th, but I always like to remind taxpayers that this extension to file is not an extension to pay. So you are supposed to pay your taxes owed or taxes due by April 15th, but you do have more time to file the paperwork by October 15th. They also asked me what should I do if I want to pick the services, hire a tax preparer. I always tell them, please be wary of what we call ghost preparers that land a business right in January, February, and then April 15th comes and they're gone. You want to hire someone that you know is going to be there for you after the April 15th deadline. Someone that doesn't tell you they're going to charge you based on your refund, on how large your refund is, and someone that that has a tax preparer identification number. That's very important. That signs your tax return, and make sure that when you're doing your tax return, before you say, okay, it's correct, that you go through it line by line, and that you make sure that all the credits and deductions on that tax return, you really can claim them. Because a lot of times you may go to a tax preparer, then trying to get you a large refund may invent stuff, and then you're going to end up in trouble with the IRS, and it's not really worth it.
No, it certainly is not, because it ends up costing you money down the line, if you get audited. Alejandra, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And now let's tell you about the event that's happening tomorrow on Saturday. If you need help filing your taxes, the IRS is actually opening its office in downtown Jacksonville starting at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, it's not tomorrow. It's on Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday. On Saturday, I'm getting ahead of myself. Starting at 9 o'clock, you can meet with a person in person, an IRS specialist, to answer any questions that you may have filing your taxes. It's not just direct file. We're talking about just in general. If you need help filing your taxes, you can meet with an agent for free at the IRS office located at 400 West Bay Street in Jacksonville. You do not need an appointment. You can just walk in. The office will be open until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. There are some things that you do need to bring with you, and you can find the list inside a story that we've posted on news4jax.com, or you can search for the information on irs.gov.